Hey guys, GMX here. Today's video is about some DIY lanterns I made for my girlfriend. If you liked the video, be sure to give it a like and subscribe for more content. And if you ever want to catch me live, ask questions about my builds, anything like that, or just watch me play some video games, you can check me out at GMX Sniper over on Twitch, link in the description below, where I stream every Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday from 6 to 9 p.m. Central. So when my girlfriend came to me with the idea of having some lanterns in front of her apartment door, she came to me and showed me some lanterns. They're only about 60 bucks, not too bad. For a set of 3 even too, that's not too bad. And then you scroll down, you can get ones for 20 each. So roughly still 60 for 3 of them. But I figured I had some scrap wood laying around, might as well make this a partner project where her and me could do this together. She could learn some tricks of the trade of woodworking, things like that, and we would have some really nice pieces still, even if we did it at home. So when we were thinking about designs, we kind of wanted to keep it similar to how these pieces actually looked. So we actually went with a crown molding on top, as well as a box frame just like this. And then a base as well that'll be around the same dimensions as the top. And then in the center here where the little stack is that's supposed to disperse heat, on ours we just made those 1x1 blocks that we then screw an eye hook in so we can hang these as well. And since these are made of wood, we went with the LED candles. Obviously didn't want this to be a fire hazard, anything like that. Obviously these ones here can actually be made for actual candles, so that's the only drawback of doing this ourselves without the use of metal or anything like that. I will say that if you wanted to make this project fire retardant, what you could do is put a piece of tin on top to make sure that it doesn't heat up too hot onto the wood itself, and then do some fire retardant paint that can actually withstand the temperatures that are higher up there. I'll link in the description below some of those paints that you could use for that. So we start off with cutting the base and top pieces. What we did was we did a 5.5, a 5 3/4, and a 6.5 bottom and top. We then took our router to the top and bottom bases to give it a little bit extra flair, make it not so plain and blocky. What you see here is one of the center posts that's going to sit on the top part that the trim is going to then go around. We're just squaring it here up on the joiner to make sure that it's all square. After we got that piece set onto the top part, we then took pieces of trim that we cut at 45-degree angles so they'd match up, and the widths at the very bottom are the same widths as the base part itself, and then we match them all up together and then put them down with 1-inch nails through my air gun. If you ever have a nail sticking out slightly like this, where if you try to use a hammer, it'll damage the other portion of the trim, what you should do is take a punch and a hammer and lightly tap it until it gets plumb and flush with the piece of wood. Now say you're cutting your pieces of trim or your crown molding to match up on these corners, top corner pieces, and you cut one just a tad short. Don't fret, you don't have to cut a new piece. If it's close enough, what you can do is actually put some wood glue, mix it in with some sawdust, and wipe it off, and it'll actually have a nice clean appearance, and it's actually paintable and stainable. We then cut the pieces of the frame. We had 4 posts that will connect the top to the bottom, as well as 8 posts to actually make the body of the frame. Again, all links and dimensions will be in the description below. Next, we purchased some eye hooks as well as a little clip and a chain to go around all these lanterns to connect them all together. So we are sanding these metal pieces because if we were to paint them right now, it might flake off because there's not a good anchoring profile on the pieces of steel. What you have to do is actually sand it and rough it up, so that way your paint has a better chance to hold on to the metal itself. To assemble the framing on the smallest size lantern, I actually went with some finish nails. I was worried that my nail gun would actually splinter or fracture the small frame, so what I did was I just drilled some pilot holes and lightly tapped in these finish nails to make sure that I didn't crack. When going to the larger sized lantern, I went ahead and used a nail gun with the 1-inch nails again. I didn't have any worry here of it cracking because it was a lot thicker of wood. So we then went to staining the wood. What we're going to do is we're going to do a first coat of stain, and then we're going to see how it looks, see if we need to add more, and then actually put a polyurethane on top of that. We decided to go with a gray at first, just a light gray on the bottom, and then we're actually going to do a dark gray on top. Having the lighter gray on bottom and the dark gray on top gives it some contrast, makes it actually pop out more than just a solid gray would. I then drilled pilot holes so that we could put our eye hooks into the top of the lanterns. We then applied a coat of polyurethane on top so that we can ensure the stain's sealed in. The last bit of construction is essentially just putting the frame onto the bases. This was done with 1-inch nails through a nail gun again, and we connected to the top first and then to the bottom base. We then hooked the chain into all 3 eye hooks so that all 3 lanterns could be hooked together. With some finishing touches of some dried moss and rocks from our local craft store, and the LED candles themselves, the lanterns turned out really well. Hey guys, thanks for checking out the video. If you guys ever want to catch me live, ask me questions, catch me over at Twitch, link in the description below, as well as all my other social medias. Don't forget all the details are in the description below, as well as all the materials and equipment I use as well. Again, thank you for watching, and I hope you guys have a fantastic day. Bye.